Spatchcock Funk is in the house. Our house, and your house too. You know where the party's at? Wherever you're at. We're gonna teach you how to throw the best parties, the best dinners, the best get-togethers. All you need is the people you love, and we'll take care of the rest. Spatchcock Funk. Dope food, strong drinks, great stories. Rise and shine, y'all. For some of us, a big deterrent from going hard at a great party is waking up the next day. Hangovers, nothing in the house, you end up wasting half the day just because you got wasted. It's all about recovery, baby. No matter what you do in life, recovery is key. Our mental and physical batteries need recharging, and you gotta make a plan for that self-care. And that goes for caring for others too. You gotta care about it, y'all. Sometimes it's having a rest day in your workout schedule, and sometimes it can be a day off after stress on the job. Now, our crew, we like to party. Obviously, this is a show about partying. So we like to help in the recovery too. We prep a great meal and some fresh drinks to help ease back into reality after raging with our people. You gotta detox to retox. This is the morning after. The legendary Dean Martin once said, the best way to avoid a hangover is to stay drunk. That's not actually true. The best way to avoid one is not drink in the first place. And for us, we always want to have a mocktail for people at parties, as well as the cocktails too, because ain't no shame in not drinking. And don't pressure people into drinking if they're not into it either. However, we are into drinking. So this cocktail is perfect for the morning after a big party. We call this the dog hair because it's the hair of the dog, not because it's made with actual dog hair. That would be gross, even though I do love dogs and love their kisses and all that. Let's get this drink started. What we really want to do though is add in something that gives some really hydration and bright colors to get you going in the morning. What we're going to start with though is we are going to make a quick cucumber juice. Cucumber juice, this is something that you save a lot of money at the store. It's great. We've got 2 whole cucumbers. Took some seedless cucumbers, chopped them up coarsely. There we go. And the juice of half a lemon. We don't care if any seeds get in there. Just get it all in. And then blend it up. We're pretty blended up. Strainer, cocktail glass. We're gonna put a couple ounces of this in here, strain out the solids. Hopefully I can nail it right. We've got our cucumber juice in here. The active ingredient, the alcohol in this, is a fruit and herb gin-based liqueur. A couple ounces of that. So it's not as strong as regular gin, but it's very herbaceous and flavorful. So we're gonna put a good healthy amount of that in there. We're gonna add in some freshly squeezed lime juice. Whenever you can, freshly squeeze your citrus. Then I also made some basil simple syrup. Cup of sugar, cup of water, heated them up, stirred it together till the sugar dissolved, then threw in a handful of basil and let it steep for about 20 minutes. We also got in some ginger ale, y'all. And ginger ale is gonna top us off on this drink. Ginger ale is great for settling the stomach. One of my favorite things about a cocktail or breakfast in the morning after a big party is all the storytelling that happens on there, and we got a lot of stories to tell. So a good story should also have a garnish, something you can chew on and nibble on when you're spilling the tea. So we got a cucumber wedge. For brightness, a strawberry slice. And there we have the dog hair. Hair of the dog. Let's run it back, baby. One of the people we study the most is the one and only Anthony Bourdain, and he had a thing about breakfast potatoes. He thought they were kind of cheap, they're thrown together, but you gotta make them work to make them work good, and that's what we're doing here, y'all. We're making kimchi breakfast potatoes, baby. Actually, this idea here we've got today was Alex's. He's like, let's make something different for potatoes. So we creeped around online and found Jamie Vespa, a blogger, and she makes this really dope kimchi potatoes. So if you're recovering from a night partying, like we are, or running a marathon, you need more electrolytes, some carb loading, so we get the electros, the carbs, all that stuff in here with some incredibly dynamic flavors. The best part about today's menu too, All 3 things can be made the day before and then reheated at 350 in the oven. So you wake up, hit the switch, and you're ready to go, baby. And that's what we all about. So I'm about making these taters right now. I've got some neutral oil in a pan. I'm using canola here, but any one works. And while that's heating up, I'm gonna take some light soy sauce, some fish sauce. I'm gonna add that in, and then I'm gonna add in 2 tablespoons of the brine of the kimchi we're using. So all that vinegary goodness, man, that pickled awesome cabbage. I'm gonna stir it up a little bit and let it set aside. And now we're good to go. Oil's warm, I'm gonna put in my taters. I've got about 1.5 pounds or so of salt potatoes. I cooked these babies earlier, and I'm gonna just fry them up in the pan. If you can't find salties, which I love, get the Yukon Golds, baby. You don't have to be in the Yukon to get them. They sell them in grocery stores everywhere, it's wild. So add them in, crisp them up. Got them coated in our oil, our grease, and we like to season as we go with salt and pepper. Our potatoes, as you see as I flip them, they're starting to crisp up there, and I like that. That's where I know we're going in the right direction. We chopped up a bunch of green onions, and we're gonna add in the white parts of that. We're gonna add in a couple cups of the chopped up kimchi itself. And we're gonna stir this around. Now, kimchi is one of those things that just goes great on like banh mi's and now breakfast potatoes. It's just a fantastic flavor. We're gonna keep cooking this until the kimchi starts to caramelize too. Kimchi is browning up nice, like it's been on the beach getting that tan in, and I'm loving every part of it. It might feel like it's drying out, and this is where that brine we made earlier with the soy sauce, the fish sauce, and the kimchi brine, we're gonna put that back in there and keep cooking this until it steams off and it's evenly mixed. Just all totally brown across the board, baby, with those pops of color. These taters are ready to get tatered up. So I'm gonna take a big scoop and plate me some. And how we serve it is we're gonna garnish it with some toasted sesame seeds, because that looks cool. And then the tops of those green onions also look pretty dope. Hit that on there too. Meanwhile, we made a chive and garlic sour cream. Just a bunch of sour cream, grated garlic, chopped up chives, let them sit for 20 minutes or so. I'm gonna put a big healthy dollop of that on there. Boom, now we talking. And to make sure we're getting things right, y'all, kimchi taters, this is how it's done. This also goes great with a pork at dinner, a steak, whatever it is you're doing, man. These taters are versatile. We're gonna make them now, throw them in the oven tomorrow morning, good to go. If y'all drank too much like we did, you need to get back in the game. Drink some water, rest, eat some healthy food, but Alex and I went real hard. So we're gonna go real hard to fix ourselves right now.
Ryan, what's up, man?
Oh, what's going on?
Just a little curling on a Saturday?
Yeah, just
Awesome.
warming up right now.
How you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
We're okay, you know.
So we need some help, man. We were raging last night. We need to get brought back to life.
Yeah, you had a good party?
Yeah, it was a great party.
It was a late one too, so tired, headache, stomach ache, I mean, all the things.
A lot of eating, a lot of drinking.
I have a solution.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
All right, so you've heard of ice baths?
Back in my professional athlete days.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of them.
Back when you were a pro athlete, you know.
It sounds better after you hit like a walk-off home run and you just gotta go sit in the bath.
Yeah, you just have to look at your situation last night as like a home run party.
I figured the home run party there was like champagne over my head. Like that's what I'm talking about.
Did you not do that?
We did a lot of that last night.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you did that, now it's time to hit the ice bath.
So how is this gonna fix a hangover?
Well, for one, you guys probably feel kind of like groggy, foggy. Immediately you're gonna hit with adrenaline. That's gonna wake you up, make you feel alert, feel like you want to run through a wall maybe.
Oh, yeah, I like where this is going.
Yeah.
All right, so how cold is this?
It's only an easy 50 degrees.
Only. 50 doesn't sound so bad though.
What?
When you say it's ice, I'm thinking like 32.
Dude, 50 degrees, I'm wearing a winter coat, a parka, a hat.
No, you're not. 32 degrees is freezing, so it's not that bad. It's way above that.
Well, how long do we have to, for this to work, how long do we have to sit in this water?
At least, let's go for at least 2 minutes. But you know.
It's a long time for you.
I can do that. Yeah. Matt doesn't get hungover. So
Yeah,
I don't know
I'm
what
just
this
here
is.
for the- I'm here
Allegedly.
He's playing this part of like, oh, I'm hungover and I did this ice bath, now I'm good. Like, He's good.
Yeah,
I think he's lying though.
Well, let's see how long I last.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
right.
ready.
Let's go.
Holy. You're right. The breathing.
It's cold.
I think the worst part is my ankles are cold.
No, it's cold. Holy cow. All right. I could use a cocktail, actually.
This will be totally worth it when I can go back and not be hungover.
The breathing is tough. And if I laugh, I can't breathe.
Why do people do this?
Getting less inflamed. Feeling all right.
I think we should. I almost would rather be hungover. Honestly, a hangover is way better than this.
Whatever hangover I had is disappearing.
I feel like I'm blacking out.
It's cold though. No doubt about that.
I'm gonna go back and have a beer. Call it a day.
So it really doesn't do anything except like shock my system. How long was Alex in for? Exactly 2 minutes? All right.
Okay. That's up.
You nailed it. Who's the boss? Spatchcock Funk, baby. We are making the boss, y'all, the breakfast sandwich. And our version of this is named after the boss, Bruce Springsteen, or my wife, should we call her the boss too, because this uses some products from the Garden State, and we can get into that, y'all. But this is a perfect sandwich. It's actually a breakfast grilled cheese. And we love to make this on our own, or you can make it the night before, cut them in half, throw them in the oven 350 with the rest of the stuff. All comes out beautiful. We got a hot pan. Y'all ready for it? We're throwing a little bit of butter. Now, the breakfast sandwich is something that everybody knows how to make, which is cool, and a lot of people pride themselves on it, and they should. Our buddy Mike, who's been a big part of our show, done a lot for us, spent it at his house, hung over a few times, and he prides himself on a breakfast sandwich that he makes with a big old Kaiser roll. When I was in college, we used to make what we called the beta row, and the beta row was basically white bread, eggs, bacon, and cheddar cheese. So this version is a little bit different, and I like it a lot because it makes me happy, and I make them all the time. The protein in this, we are using pork roll from the Garden State, y'all, in New Jersey. One of their prize exports. Some people call it Taylor ham, some call it pork roll. We'll leave that up to you. But first in our pan, we're gonna sear it on both sides and get it nice and crisped up. When they start to dome up, I'm gonna flip them. If you wanna prevent the curling up of it, you can just take a fork or a knife and put a little Pac-Man bite in the side of it and it'll stop. Once we brown around the edges, I'm gonna remove it. Next, we got 2 eggs. I'm gonna salt and pepper it again because I wanna make sure I get a lot of flavor up in here. While that's cooking, let me get at you, y'all. Go to our website and buy some merch because we're trying to keep the lights on. And while you're at it, like and subscribe too, baby. Spatchcock Nation versus the world. And as we do, get the egg moving around a little bit. Now I've got my eggs all scrambled hard in here, just how I want it. And if you're doing this over easy or whatever you want to do, that's fine. Just over hard's the way to go. I'm gonna separate that. We wiped out as much of the grime as we can, though I actually like that flavor in there because it's quite great. I'm gonna put in a whole mess of butter. And the grilled cheese portion is what makes this thing fun. You get a crunch on the outside, the melty, gooey cheese, the salty pork roll in there, which is awesome. We're gonna use a lot of butter. And now, this is a controversial hot take I'm about to give y'all. But for me, when making a grilled cheese, mayonnaise on the outside, not butter. And I'll tell you why. The tanginess allows for a better crisp caramelization, and I like the flavor. So we just hit it both sides with some mayo and hit it with some Italian seasoning for some color mostly, but I like the flavor too. So now I've got the butter nice and melted up. I'm gonna put one side down. On that side, I've got some sharp American cheese. I'm gonna layer this cheese all the way across, and I might peel off some sides of it so it's not drooping down too much, but I still want it in there. Then I'm gonna take my pork roll. Got 2 of them here, covers that. I'm gonna take my egg and I'm gonna layer my egg the way I want it to fit everything the right way, all the way across it. And I can break it apart, and that way you're not having too much fall off the side. A little bit falling off is fine. Now I've got 2 eggs, 2 Taylor hams. Eggs are cooked right. And then I remember which side my bread went on, the rounded side. I'm gonna go like this, about maybe 2 minutes aside until we get crispy and the cheese starts to melt. Checking that, I can feel a crisp on there. So 1 nice turn. Yeah, the brown edges on that. That is how a grilled cheese is supposed to look. Cheese starting melting down. Got a sandwich, y'all. Check the bottom of this baby. Yep, I can feel the crisp on it right there. Set it down. I can see the cheese just oozing and being fantastic. I just can't wait to get into this guy. So I like to cut them across and then pull this out. Look at that cross section, melted cheese, eggs, pork roll, the boss. Look at the cheese melting on the side. Not too much so it's falling over your hands, but man, this is a sandwich. Salty, porky, cheesy goodness. Great for late night, great the morning after. The boss, y'all. For breakfast, some people want something sweet, y'all. And while I'm sweet enough, this is the thing, baby. This is French toast bread pudding. Now, our buddy Robert might call this a French toast casserole, but it's bread pudding. Just like any French toast or anything you're gonna do the next day, planning ahead of time makes things even better. And French toast always should rest in the fridge the night before. That's what this does too, so we can cook it perfectly. The timing works out beautifully, right? This is at 350 for like 40 minutes plus 10. We take the top off. I'm all about taking tops off. The egg sandwiches heat up around 20 minutes at 350. Same with the potatoes, around 20 minutes at 350. So it times you out perfectly. Where this thing really works with any type of bread pudding, you're making a custard. Let's start with the custard. We've got 5 eggs that we've whisked up. We're gonna throw in about a cup of sugar. Really whisk that until it creates a nice even mixture. It's gonna start looking kind of starry and shiny, which we like. So this looks good. I'm gonna set this aside for a second. And I've got a greased tray. Spray it, I use some butter in there, that's fine. I've got 1 loaf of French bread, like a baguette, that's a little bit crusty on the outside. I like the crust on there. You can cut them off, but cube them up into inch cubes and then spread it evenly along the bottom of your pan. I got some chopped walnuts. If you've got nut allergies in your crew, skip the walnuts. You can put toffee in there if you wanted to. It doesn't matter. And I've got some chocolate chips, because I love chocolate chips. Who doesn't? Put them in there. Now we set this aside and get back to what we're creating here is actually a custard. So we've got the eggs, and we're gonna mix next in a little bit of pure vanilla extract. This becomes an aromatic, so we get that smell to it, which is awesome. Then a combination of cinnamon and nutmeg. Smells awesome. And that's what you love in the French toast, those little flavors that make it smell real nice. A couple cups of heavy cream. To make a custard, you've got all this sugar, all this fatty goodness, and we've got a stick of unsalted melted butter that will let sit out to room temperature. This is critical. If it's too warm, it's basically not gonna temper well with the eggs. It's gonna all get all cooked up. We don't want that. I'm gonna slowly drizzle this in while I beat it, and then after I get it all in there, then I'll increase the speed of my beaters. This just smells awesome. It looks great too, creamy, just beautiful. On top of this laid out bread, chocolate, nutty goodness, we're gonna drape this evenly all the way through it. It forms this spongy mass, which just looks great. And you can see it all floating up in there, looking fantastic. Now, take some tin foil and wrap it tightly with the tin foil. You're gonna put this in the fridge overnight. It's got to be overnight. Let it set. Then we're gonna bake it, get your oven at 350, and before it goes in, with the tin foil still on it, poke a bunch of holes so it kind of aerates souffles up inside there with a toothpick all the way through it, so you've got rows and rows of it. And then you're gonna bake it for 40 minutes. Then you're gonna take that itchy top off, y'all, and see if it's puffed up. If it has, then leave it in for 10 more minutes until it's golden brown. Look at all this fluffy goodness, which was also my nickname in high school. But I want to cut this thing out yet, but before we do, we're gonna make this thing real extra special, because you should. Now, we like bourbon and drinking, so we made some bourbon maple syrup. Just heated a bunch of maple syrup on the stove, a couple tablespoons of bourbon, and some butter, and a little bit of cinnamon. I'm gonna drizzle this a little bit across there so we can get some dips out of it. Then, let's get ourselves a square of this bread pudding. Yeah. That's how it's supposed to look. But we want to look real pretty, and you know what? It's not sweet enough, so some powdered sugar on top. And to really make things special, we also made a bourbon whipped cream. So homemade whipped cream, a couple tablespoons of bourbon, dollop of that on top. The perfect ending to a perfect breakfast after the perfect night. But just to confirm that, I'm gonna take a big old bite and make sure that we did it right. French toast bread pudding, baby. Let's go.
And now you drunk, you drunk. Now you drunk, you drunk. And now you drunk, you drunk. And now you drunk. And now you drunk, you drunk. Now you drunk, you drunk. And now you drunk, you drunk. And now you drunk. And now you drunk, you drunk. Now you drunk, you drunk. I got nothing left to prove. Ice on my neck.
How you feeling, man? It's a rough night.
It was a rough night, man. I'm feeling like, remember that time in Chicago we woke up and that, well, we didn't wake up there. We went to that brunch place, the taco place.
Oh, yeah, and then we were there 4 hours earlier.
Yeah.
She's like, were you guys here last night?
We were like, hey, man, this place looks familiar. She's like, you were here last night, like hours ago.
Yeah, dude, it looked wildly different at night than it did the next day. We picked it like it was brand new.
Kind of like this place, man.
Also, what was Danielle doing last night?
How'd she get that knife in here?
I don't know, man.
Her purse wasn't even that big.
I wasn't expecting it. There's people around. They were cheering. I mean, it was cool, but
it was
nuts.
cool. You know what else was nuts? Was that guy in the pickle costume.
Yeah.
Yo, everybody, the pickle is going up!
Man, a crowd surfing pickle. Remember that time we were at that busy bar downtown, and everyone's waiting for drinks, and some people are dancing, and we're like, let's just send Pat up crowd surfing.
Send him.
Yeah, we sent him up, and people cheered.
That was awesome.
And the bartender was so mad at him that he was up there, and he's like, I can't do anything about it. I didn't do this.
Furious.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
It was hilarious. You know what, though? Also, I think somebody last night had a really great golf swing.
Wasn't that you?
Dude, I don't even know where that ball landed.
I didn't see it. Whatever, that was a great party.
Great party.
Man, are they gonna leave soon?
I hope so. Like they say in the Scouts, be prepared. Raging parties can go sideways fast. Really, anything can. So remember this, luck favors the prepared. With water, meals, get things ready, make sure you're taking care of it. Prepare for things.
Mr. Reed. So you guys had a party, huh?
I was not prepared for that. Time to pay the piper.
And I always do it big because I can. Do it big because I can. And I always do it big because I can. And I always do it big because I can. And I always do it big because I can.
Yo, welcome to Spatchcock Nation, y'all. Once you're in till death, baby, and we love you to death for being on here. We throw killer parties, massive events. We're about bringing people together, showing the love through food, drinking, partying. Spatchcock Funk. Dope food, strong drinks, great stories.